Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Do not forget to subscribe, like our videos, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. Of course, tap on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our updates. I know some of you have probably come across some videos all over social media about some whites talking about melanin drops. White Americans are suddenly buying melanin drops after the intense heat wave. The question now is, are these actually true? As we all know, melanin is a natural pigment that gives color to our skin, hair, and eyes. It also helps protect the skin by absorbing some of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. People with higher level of melanin generally have a low risk of sunburn, although everyone can still experience sun damage and skin cancer. Let us watch these clips and come back with our commentaries.
Nobody hates white skin quite as much as white people. As you can probably see, I am not a very melanated person. My melanin comes in the form of freckles. All my life, especially when I was younger, when my skin was fresh and new and not so sun damaged, I was ripped for the colour of my skin, for my complexion, only ever by other white people. I have been told, get some fake tan on there, girl. Get to the sunbeds. Take some melanin injections to help you tan better. And when a little bit of sunshine comes to the UK, what do we see immediately? Men with their top off, no SPF, drenching themselves in tanning oil. The stench of stale biscuits fills the air because the girlies are layering on their St. Moriz fake tan. And the sunbed shops are fully booked with people frying their skin just in an attempt to be a bit darker. The funniest part is I live in the UK, the same UK that complains about the rise of multiculturalism, the same UK where people talk about protecting British values. Mate, you can't even protect your own skin. Why are you caring about someone else's? I don't spend a lot of time trying to understand racists, because I never will. I'm a good person, but I can only assume that a lot of it boils down to envy. The irony of white supremacists purposely trying to make their skin darker will never not be funny to me.
Every summer, I am so used to getting sunburnt. When I'm trying to get a tan and just get a little brown for the summer, I usually fry. And so I invested in some of Xeria's sunless drinkable tanning drops. They're in the flavor watermelon. They help boost the natural melanin that you already have in your skin because we all have a certain amount already. And this just helps give it a little boost. You get 60 mLs in this bottle. So just depending on how many drops you decide to use a day is how long it will last you. I usually use a full dropper, so just that much as a dropper. And it's not a sweet watermelon flavor. It's more like a dry watermelon flavor, if you kind of know what I mean. You can put it right into a drink of yours, drink it up. You can actually add it to a moisturizer and apply it, or you can just put it directly right into your mouth. These are all natural ingredients and they are vegan. Someone who uses this consistently can start to usually see a subtle glow of a tan coming on within 5 to 7 days. This is something that works gradually if you're consistent. So if you are like used to sunburning, it's just gonna boost the melanin. And then so if you have to be out in the sun at all in the summer, you're gonna tan easier. I will actually link below the exact shop that I order mine from. But yes, Xeria Sunless Drinkable Tanning Drops.
So I just posted a video about how I'm a white person with naturally brown skin, and some people in the comments were a little bit peeved. So I have some pictures to show you. I'm obviously very light right now because it's the dead middle of winter right now and it's 10 degrees out. I haven't been outside in months. So I thought I'd add a picture of me in the summer so you can see kind of what I tan to in the summer. And then this is another picture of me from a different summer. So obviously my skin tones here are very different, but that is me. Just so you know, I'm not lying about spray tanning. This is me as a baby. I don't know how old I was in this picture, but I think this is the cutest thing ever. So there you go. This is me as a small child. These are my cute parents when we went on a trip recently. Can't even see their faces. Sorry, I was sitting in front of a window, which made me really bright and kind of hard to see them. So I'm just going to move off of the camera, but these are my parents, and that's me. So, I don't know. Even in the summer, I don't know if I get this dark anymore. I get close, but I don't know if I get that dark. Anyway, people would always just stop my mom and ask if I was adopted or ask what race my dad was, which is a strange question to ask a stranger, but that is me.
No matter what I do, my face will not tan. I've tried not putting on sunscreen. That's about it. My face is very pale compared to the rest of my body. That tans, like scrunchy. The rest of my body tans, my face doesn't, and I'm so sick of putting like tinted moisturizers on, tinted sunscreens, all that stuff to make it blend to the rest of my body. So I just ordered from Amazon. I ordered Beauty by Earth, their self-tanning drops. And I just put in like 2 drops in my moisturizer for my face. And it's what it looks like right now. And come back in a little bit and we'll see if I tan.
White women, I need you guys to answer this question. I know the answer, but I need y'all to write in the comments, what is it? Because I'm getting sick and tired of hearing black women saying the reason why white women get tans is because they want to be black. I never had that stereotype. I never thought that because I was like, they were pale. They're pale as heck. Don't you want to add some color? Don't you want to get a little darker being that bright, blending into the sun? Answer me this. Is the reason why y'all get tans is to be black? Or is it because you are pale and you want to put some enhancement and get that little tan line and be a little tan? And sometimes y'all would get the messed up tan to where it gets you a little dark. And then, you know, I'm not saying that all white women do this, but a lot of the black women do be thinking that y'all get the tans because y'all want to be black. I know it's because y'all probably white, but we need proof in the comments. Thank you.
How I embraced my pale skin. I used to genuinely have a self-tanning addiction. It was really bad. Like my skin was the exact same color as my hair. It was like so hard to quit for me because I went to Bama and the beauty standard there is definitely be tan. Also, it made me feel a lot skinnier. Then one day, my freshman year of college, I just got so sick and tired of it. I was planning my showers around self-tan. I was tired of my face being a different shade than the rest of my body and having to compensate with bronzer, like use different color foundations. But worst of all, I was completely dependent on it to feel attractive. So I quit, okay? I bought all new makeup. I started going to the gym because I was using self-tan to make myself look toned. But honestly, the thing that helped me embrace my pale skin the most was just romanticizing the crap out of it. I stopped trying to be Barbie and instead I started trying to be like an ethereal goddess. Not to brag or anything, but I do think I kind of pull off that vibe. It does take a while to get used to, but exposure therapy helps so much and eventually you'll just get used to it. My biggest insecurity with being pale is my veiny skin. I have really bad circulation. In the cold, my hands turn bright purple and in the heat, they turn bright red. Same thing with my legs and my feet. And I used self-tan for a long time to kind of try to hide that discoloration. Then I just kind of accepted it and I realized like, hey, watercolor skin or ugly self-tan patchiness. Pick your poison. And I promise you, nobody notices it as much as you do. Now, I don't even try to tan, even naturally, which protects my skin. The sun ages you, and if you're a redhead like me, you're actually more prone to skin cancer. But most importantly, I just feel myself, you know? I don't know if this makes sense, but I just feel like now I'm the type of beautiful that God intended me to be. I literally couldn't even imagine touching a self-tanning bottle ever again. I love my pale skin so much now, and I think that everybody should embrace and love their natural skin tone.
Okay, it's not a secret that white people, we were not meant for the fucking sun. Like, we literally have no melanin in our skin, and melanin is what protects people from the sun. We don't have that. And so I burn very, very easily, like the majority of white people. Unfortunately, my skin is an asshole, and I had to have skin cancer removed when I was 17 years old. And I've had it removed 2 or 3 times since. I've got a gnarly scar on my back because of it. That was fucking scary. And because of that, I've always been ultra cautious in the sun whenever I go to the beach. I live in Florida, so we love the beach. We have a tarp and umbrellas and a shitload of sunscreen, and it is reapplied all day long, and I stay in the fucking shade unless I'm playing in the water, and I don't go out for more than a few minutes at a time because of my skin's sensitivity to the sun. So yesterday was Father's Day, and the kids and my husband and myself, we wanted to go family day at the beach. Perfect day, right? We go, and lately my skin has been burning easier than normal, which is crazy because it already burns ridiculously easy. But I'm under the umbrella. I am under the tarp all day long. I reapply the sunscreen. I reapply. And lately, it's just not doing anything. Nothing. Like, look at my fucking skin here. Okay, so here's my chest. Like, you can see how burned I am. And then, like, look at that. That shit hurts so fucking bad. And that is with being in the shade. And SPF 50 reapplied all day long. This is a direct effect of climate change. 125%. People didn't burn this easily before. And this is something that you can see in real time. This is unreal. Unreal.
I hate when people say that they like the natural alternative look, and then they point to some fucking picture of someone like Gabrielle. I don't know why it grinds my gears so much. Like, I'm trying to figure out the connection behind all of this, but whenever someone says that they like a natural alternative, or they love it when people look naturally alternative, it's always a white woman with dark features. It is always someone with like a deep winter sort of color palette, whatever it is, with dark hair. Like, that's what it is every single time. And I don't know, to me, looking natural and looking alternative, that's an oxymoron. How the two can't exist together, that makes no sense.
Psst. Hey, white people, this one's for you. And this is not anything racist or terrible or anything negative at all. There's been so much negativity, political, social. I just need to take a break from this. But so this question is for white people and white people only. I'm a black female. I want to hear the answer to this question. And I heard this on somebody else's page, so it's not my originality, but I just want to see what the response is from you guys, my followers, and for anybody who stumbles across this. Hi, my name is Jody. I'm a storyteller. I love to share stories, observations, all that stuff here on TikTok. Give me a follow if you find this interesting or you want to hear more of my celebrity stories or whatever I choose to share. Okay, so here's the question for white people. If you woke up black tomorrow, beautifully African American tomorrow, what is the first thing you would do? First thing you would enjoy? First thing you think you would experience, understand? Let me hear it. All the racists, you guys can just scroll on by. But everybody else, let me know. If you woke up black, what would you do? Share in the comments. I'd love to hear. Thanks.
But can we just talk about how African Americans and Africans don't even look that different?
I am convinced that a lot of West Africans do not have a good idea of what they actually look like. Because as a Black American, I can tell from a mile away whether you're Black American or whether you're African. And it has nothing to do with your facial features. It has nothing to do with your skin tone. It has nothing to do with your hair texture. I can tell by looking in your eyes whether you are African or Black American. Black Americans are 400 years removed from Africa. Majority of Africans have 90 to 100% African DNA. Majority of Black Americans have about 20% European DNA. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that I look like someone who has 90 to 100% African in them when I'm 1/3 white. And I think the big issue here is I feel like a lot of African people feel as if a Black American person is saying, oh, we don't look like you, then we're calling you ugly. No, that's not the case. We just don't look like you. Any Black American would be able to look at you and say, oh yeah, you're African, or hey, you're Jamaican, or hey, you're a Black American. Because we as a community have built such a tight-knit community that we know who our people are. We know our kinfolk. And us saying that we do not look like you and that we can tell the difference it's not throwing shade at you at all. It's not saying, oh, you're less attractive or that we're better than you. It's not saying that at all. I've had so many Africans say, oh, you look like you're from South Africa. You look Egyptian. You look like you're from East Africa. You look everything except for the fact that my ancestry is West African. Honey, no. The features that you see that don't look 100% West African, it's just European DNA. And it's from slavery. And I wish a lot of African people would just stop trying to gaslight Black Americans and just respect the fact that we are a separate group of people with our own cultures, with our own identities, with our own separate looks.
I just have a question for y'all white women. Why do y'all tan? Like, what is the point?
So I just woke up, but I don't see anybody in your comments pointing out that there's like an actual historic moment when being tan became a thing for white women. This is the second time in like a week that I've posted with coffee tongue, and I do apologize. But a lot of people are answering this woman's question about why white women tan, which is because we think it looks healthier and thinner. They say if you can't tone it, tan it, whatever. But it actually wasn't a thing until around the early 20th. If I remember, I'm not fact checking, by the way, but I just remember reading an article about this forever ago. In the 1920s is when we see like tanning become a trend in wellness and beauty for women, specifically because this is when it became associated with wealth. Only wealthy people go on vacation, and it became like this signifier. Like if you were the kind of person who went to the ocean, went to the beach, went to the islands for a couple months every year, if you were in, what's the place the rich people go up north, the Hamptons, for several months a year, and you came back bronzed skin because you'd just been doing nothing for 2 months, that became associated with wealth. Only wealthy people vacation. Hence, as we've always done in America, women want to emulate the wealthy women. And so tanning at that point became, and there's like an anecdote I remember about Coco Chanel specifically coming back from something with a sunburn. And I feel like I read this in an article too. Coco Chanel comes back with a sunburn from a vacation. All of the elite Parisian women wanted to emulate her. The American women wanted to emulate her. And, you know, these things kind of line up with what I said earlier. But there is, in America, to my knowledge, like a specific time period that being tan actually, you know, this has not been forever. Obviously, in the 19th century, being pale and untouched by the sun would have communicated that you did not work outside, hence wealth. But there is like a specific thing that made this a popular beauty choice. So I hope that helps in your quest for answers.
I could not make this shit up if I tried. I just cannot. And I need you guys to stay with me because this is probably going to blow your mind as much as it blew mine. So I had this patient, and this patient was extremely, extremely drowsy. And there was nothing that she was taking that should make her that drowsy. She was just like, I cannot hold my eyes open. Like, I am so drowsy. So I started questioning, you know, are you taking anything that you are not prescribed, you know, like vitamins, supplements, anything else, anything that you have changed in your diet or your life? And she says, no, not really. She's like, the only thing I take is melatonin. And I said, okay. And I said, how often are you taking melatonin and how many milligrams? She said, well, she said, I take it about 4 times a day. She said, I think those are 10 or 20 milligrams. She was like, but I'm trying to get the highest dose. She said, so I can get a really good tan before the end of the summer. And I said, huh? And she said, yeah. She said, you know, the higher the dose, the more you're going to tan. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, you know, she was like, the more you take the melatonin, the more you're going to tan. She's like, I'm trying to get up to the highest dose. And I was like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. And I was like, but I hope you're not taking melatonin all day and all night long. And she said, well, yeah. She was like, because she said, I would rather just take the pill than lay out in the sun. And I said, take the pill? She was like, I can see now you don't know what you're doing. I said, ma'am, I'm trying to understand what you are saying here. And she says, I'm taking the melatonin. She was like, because I don't want to lay in the sun. I said, so you're taking melatonin to tan? She was like, yes. She was like, because you know, that's what black people have in their skin. And that's it. I about fell out. I don't like, what the fuck is she talking about? And I'm like, ma'am, I'm like, I think you mean melanin, and baby, you can't buy that in a bottle. I'm like, what you are taking is a sleep aid, and that is why you are so freaking drowsy. And she looks at me like I'm totally stupid. Like I have no fucking idea what is going on. And she's like, so that's not melatonin that's in their skin? I was like, no, that is melanin. And baby, you have to be born with it. That is not something you can buy in a bottle. You might want to throw them fucking melatonins away before your ass goddamn collapse some fucking where. I can't make this shit up.
The question we all should be asking ourselves is this scientifically proven? Because from my research, there is no scientifically proven supplement or melanin drop that can simply make your body produce large amount of melanin the way many people post online. And as such, there is no scientific evidence showing that they can safely or effectively change the person's natural color. For decades, many people sought lighter skin through cosmetic products, while others pursue tanning to achieve darker complexion. So this online conversation often reflects changing ideas about identity, appearance, and what society considers desirable. Way back, we all know that the white complexion, or let's say the light skin color, it's a complexion everybody have always wanted to have, in as much as everybody wanted to glow. Most people resorted to cosmetics like bleaching their skin just because they wanted to have a fair complexion, they wanted to have a fair skin, look smooth and almost like the white. But today's story, it's funny. It's really funny to hear that white are all over the media talking about getting melanin drops or melanin boosters just because they want to have a dark complexion. How funny life could be sometimes. It is really ironical how life can be at times. One thing we should all know is we should not just rush into getting products just because we've seen them trending online. Most of such products could damage our skin and cause cancer of the skin and a lot more. So we should be very careful the things we use, the things we apply on our skin, and also do further research to make sure that this thing is actually true and it is actually scientifically proven. So people, do you think this is a real trend? Clever marketing, internet humor, or misinformation? Please share your thoughts in the comment section.